I don't think that's supposed to happen.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tyler. Behind me is the sandstorm today. We're about to hit Panel Road Trail here in Arkansas. We're airing down right now. We've got Jesse. You guys have seen him on the channel before. We've got his Colorado back there. He's airing down as well. I don't know how low I'm going. I lowered the deflators, so we're probably going to go lower than 18 just because I have the 37s and the bigger sidewall. It'll just benefit me more than on the canyon. 18 on the canyon is perfectly fine, but with these bigger sidewalls, it doesn't do as well. Anyways, I'll link these all-top deflators below as well as the air compressor I use at the end. But we're going to air down real quick, and then we're going to start the trail. We already hit our first obstacle. There's a down tree already from some storms that rolled through last week. Nothing too bad, just went right over it. But we're almost to the hard parts of the trail. And this one's gonna be kind of like the last time I did it in the canyon, where I just kind of hit the highlights of the trail instead of recording the whole thing. You guys seem to like the highlights a little bit more. And I don't like to, I've got Jesse with me, so I don't really feel good about slowing people down and making them wait for me to record videos and stuff. So try to do this stuff on the fly, make this entertaining. And then after we do the panel road, we're gonna go try that one trail that I tried to do in the canyon last time, that had a tree down. I didn't have any way to cut it. We're gonna see if that's clear and try that one. Muddy. He's fighting a horsefly back there. He got scared. But we've got the first time we took the Bronco out here, we went up this ledge. We didn't go down it, but now we have rock sliders and we are gonna go down this ledge right here. So this is about to be awesome. We're gonna set the GoPro up there, point it here so you can see the front end, and then we're gonna set the phone back here so you can see the back end. It's super muddy, so my goal is to go off closer to that side. It's a little lower. Obviously, I don't want to go off here super tall. I'll actually just jump down here and show you. Like it's up to my hips. but we're gonna set this up. Jesse's gonna go off that one. So I just want to give you guys a quick view of how tall this is. We're gonna go off it with the Bronco, but we're gonna go closer to this side because it's a little lower. But I'm gonna set the phone up over here so we can kind of get, actually I'm gonna set it up over here so we can get a front shot. You got about 1.5 foot. Okay, go that way just a tad. Passenger. Okay, yeah, you're right. I'd stay where you're at. Go slow, you're on the edge, you're on the edge. You're right there, dude. Well, it's gonna be close. It looks, the other side looks pretty fucking tall, but you went up it exactly. That's the thing. What do you want? You want me back over there? There you go. Well, you're there now. Come on, hit one. Cross member. No big deal. We can ain't train. There you go. I think you're good now. Yeah, you're good now. Until we get to the rear. There you go. Well, you're there now. Take the crank. There you go. I think you're good now. Yeah, you're good now. Until we get to the rear. You're about 1/2 foot from the ledge. All right, good there, slow. Ooh, there you go. Just a rear bumper, you're good. I think it was the exhaust. There you go, that's it, man. Whew. That was spooky. So Jesse's gonna do this one up here, and we'll see how that goes. My approach angle good? Probably. No.
I don't remember how we hit it last time.
Straighten up. Driver. Go slow, go slow. Your tire's right on the ledge, go slow. Straighten. A little bit, little driver right there. Slow, you're about to drop off. Okay, you're good. Let me check the back real quick.
I didn't have any good pictures last time we hit this, so I'm gonna see if I can get some good angles.
Hopefully I got some. I usually get good screenshots out of the GoPro footage, so hopefully I'll get some of your truck too. All right, you're reaching the ledge. Slow down a little bit. Creep forward. Creep, creep. All right, you're about to slide off. Go slow. Oh, that bumper came within an inch. You're good though. That was your hitch. All good. All right, we're about to go back up. We're gonna try to do better than the first time. We're at a lower PSI, should be easier. And we have rock sliders this time.
about 2 inches from it. You're on the edge. Creep slowly. And it worked. Get out. Oh, bro, you're cooked. Bro, you're fucking cooked. You're fucking cooked.
All right, guys, so I may have really my Bronco up. Yeah, this is not good. So we're turned all the way to the right over here, or driver's side. I don't think that's supposed to happen. We are now in the sandstorm getting towed out. As you can see, the tires are straight at the moment. But once we hit a bump, yep, there it goes. Off to the passenger side. No more straight tire. We've got Jesse on the phone, and then we've got this guy put in a Facebook group. He came out to rescue me with his tow strap and his LX. Which is doing great. I'm pretty much letting him pull me, because if I hit the gas, I just end up going towards the trees because the tires are not straight. So we're almost to the end, and then I got to get a tow truck, and then we'll go to the dealership, and then I got to go home, get the sandworm, and then once we get the sandworm, we will come back with a trailer and tow this home and get it back to Silo Hill Customs to upgrade the tie rods, and we'll be ready for next time. Hopefully towing this out like this, I didn't break anything else. We'll see though. Silo Hill will let me know how much shit I broke and how much money I owe. So we'll see. Well, we finally made it out to the main road with the Bronco. Thanks to Will in the Arkansas Recovery Facebook group and his LX here. Didn't really take much work for it, honestly. It pulled like a champ, got the Bronco out. Now we just gotta get a tow truck and figure out how to get back from Arkansas back to Oklahoma. Probably gonna go home and pick up the sandworm and come back with a trailer and trailer at home. So we'll see how that goes. I'll check in once we get the truck. So I've got about 2 hours to wait. I decided not to go back to Oklahoma and get my truck and come back. I decided to call my brother, see if he was available. So he's picking up a trailer and he's on his way. So instead of, 2 hours back to Oklahoma for me and 2 hours here and then 2 hours back, it's just 2 hours here for him and then 2 hour ride back to my house. But I figured I have time to wait, so we'll do a walk around of the Bronco after the trail. I'm actually gonna turn it off for a second, kind of hang out outside. It's a little cooler. I've been letting it run sitting in the air condition. But we'll kind of do a walk around. There's a little bit of trail damage I got today just due to the little tie rod mishap. Just because of it and not really being able to drive straight, it kind of pushed the Bronco off the trail a little bit, so I got a little bit of trail damage. So we'll see that. And then some of the stuff was kind of my fault. Also showed where I need to get some skid plates, so we're gonna check that out. The main thing, the tie rod, you can see it sitting there. Anyways, when that snapped, it kind of pushed me into a tree. Luckily the mirror had the mud all over it, so it didn't get scratched or broke. But we did have a scratch here. Luckily my worm spit chemicals with that ceramic coating inside of them. It helps kind of protect it, and honestly I can probably buff that out with the ceramic coating. So that's not that big of a deal. But on the way being dragged out of the trail, this tire turned inward, but I really needed it to go towards the passenger. So this one was pushing it driver, this one was pushing it passenger. They were working against each other, and it ended up getting pushed into another tree, and it was a tree that was uprooted and on the ground, and it hit this tire, flung up, and so we got a little dent, probably like two, 3 dents right here. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully maybe some paintless dent repair. Actually, there's another dent right there, so maybe some paintless dent repair can get those out. If not, that's not crazy. I mean, trail damage is expected when you do this stuff off-road. It's just, honestly, I'm pretty careful off-road, so I don't really ever expect to get that much damage. I guess now I kind of learned my lesson. I got a little cocky with the Bronco. I was like, I'm on 37s. This is a shorter wheelbase. Let me try some harder stuff. And I kind of bit myself in the ass doing that, getting overconfident. So we're going to be a little careful next time. But also, speaking of skid plates, I did say I was going to bring that up. Here where that trailing arm is, I was on a spot where I was sitting on top of that. So I want to get some skid plates for those, which that's kind of, this front portion is already technically a skid plate. But I want to beat those up a little bit. And then the gas tank right here, I noticed a spot where I kind of rubbed the gas tank on the ground at one point. Nothing too crazy. It looked like it might have just dragged a little bit. So I definitely want to get a skid plate for the gas tank. And then the diff, the rear diff, I felt that hit. The front, I haven't hit anything, so that's all good. And then this is the Outer Banks bumper, so it's all plastic. It's not metal or anything like that. So I found a guy, he's actually selling his modular bumper, which I plan to replace this with. And so that'll replace this with metal and everything. So we're gonna do that, because you can see that's mud, but I scraped it right there, and then the bumper kind of grabbed the lip when I went down off of one of the ledges. So we're gonna replace this either with the OEM modular bumper, which is metal, or I'm gonna go for a full DV8 bumper. And then on the rear, I think I'm gonna do the same thing, because like the plastic's fine. I haven't hit this yet, but I think just for more clearance and everything, because I do push the Bronco a little bit harder than I do the Canyon, just because it does have more clearance and it's on the bigger tires. I do push this a little bit harder. So I definitely want to armor this up a little bit more than I do the truck. So we're going to do that. That's the goal. But anyways, take this time because I'm bored out here, waiting. Don't really know what to do. It's warm out here. I don't want to sit here and run the AC the whole time. So figured I'd talk about the Bronco a little bit. I mean, it did great on the trails up until this point, up until the point I broke the tie rods. And that was just that was such a stupid, to me, like I could see in the video what I did wrong. I could tell that my tire was probably turned a little bit too much passenger, and when I went to bump that ledge, it pushed that tire and snapped that tie rod. It actually didn't snap it at that point. If you actually see, if you go back and watch it, it actually, that's probably where it cracked it. And then when I went back and turned the tires this way, it caught that tree, and then that tree fully snapped it. So I know what I did wrong. I didn't keep the tires straight. I know, like in my head, keep the tires straight. At that point, the steering wheel was straight, so I assumed they were straight. Wasn't paying attention. That was my fault. But the Bronco did great up until then. I tried that taller ledge, no issues. That could have weakened it, honestly. Could have bent it just enough to where it tweaked it or whatever. It's just one of those things that's bound to happen at some point, especially with these Broncos with the weaker tie rods. So I guess take my mistake and lesson learned as your lesson learned, and beef up those tie rods before you go off-road. Either get some sleeves or just beef your tie rods. Just keep in mind, if you do that, you do put some of your other suspension components, the steering rack and things like that, at risk, because with those tie rods breaking, they'll break before some of those other things do. And so if you beef those up, you leave the risk to break other things, if that makes sense, and they could potentially be more expensive. So for me, I'm going with sleeves, because at least with the sleeves, it'll beef them up a little bit, but it'll still have that weakness in there for them to break before anything else, at least in my mind. So that's what I'm doing. So lesson learned, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna go right by it. So I'm also gonna, the driver's side is fine, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a sleeve on it too, since we'll have everything pulled apart and get everything realigned, get it drivable. Honestly, I'm scarred right now. I probably won't take the Bronco out for a couple videos because obviously got to get it fixed first. So I already contacted Silo Hill. They're awesome. As you guys know, they sponsor the Bronco, but they told me they'd be able to get it in within the next week to get that stuff fixed and straightened out. Super great guys. So if you're in the Oklahoma area or even in the Arkansas area and need a good, trustworthy place for your Bronco, they do more than just Broncos, but they do a lot of work on these Broncos, and they know the ins and outs of them, like the back of their hand. So they're great for Bronco work, Raptor work, things like that. But it's going to them. Once my brother gets here with the trailer, I'm gonna get some cool shots of the sandworm pulling this thing though. My brother's bringing his truck because that's a lot of work on the sandworm to tow this all the way from Arkansas back to my house. But my truck will tow it to Silo Hill tomorrow. But anyways, that's gonna be a dope shot of both my vehicles. I mean, sad to say this one's on the trailer because it's broke, but to see them both on there is gonna be awesome. Anyway, cool thing about the Bronco and being stranded in it is it has a YouTube app, so you can watch YouTube on the Bronco. I don't know if they all come with this or what. Let me know if yours has this or not, but I'm able to watch YouTube. Obviously right now I'm watching some of my old videos, and actually in this video right here, I about made the same mistake with the truck that I made with the Bronco. So I almost broke the tie rod on the truck. My brother's phone died because I couldn't see his location, but here he is. He must have lost service. There he is. All right, we've got this in 4-wheel drive just so I can see the tire marks, and then he's straightening this up so it's super straight. And then this is going to be a fun little tryout. All right, guys, we got the Bronco all loaded up, about to head home. We'll get that tie rod fixed this week. I'm gonna grab a water and some stuff out of there, and then thanks to my brother for picking me up. Honestly, he didn't do it for me. He did it because he just wanted to use his truck. So don't let him fool you. Anyways, I'm gonna check back in when we get home, and that's it. All right, guys, so it's the next morning. I'm headed to work. We've got the Bronco hooked up to the sandworm, and I'm between 60 and 65 miles an hour, and my speedometer's off a little bit, so probably going a little more than that. But we're getting about 8 miles per gallon, and it's continuously going up, sitting at 2,000 RPMs. The Bronco Outer Banks trim level stock is between 4,500 pounds and 5,000 pounds, somewhere between there. With my lift kit and 37-inch tires, obviously it weighs a little bit more. So I don't know how much this trailer weighs, but we're probably maxing out the Canyon's tow capacity, and we're up to 9 miles per gallon at 65 miles an hour towing the Bronco on this trailer. So the Canyon's doing good. I'm super impressed. Like, it feels smooth. The only thing that the Canyon struggles with is the takeoff. Like the stoplight this morning leaving my house is on a hill. So taking off from there obviously is a slow takeoff, slow acceleration with this much weight. But it's doing amazing. Like, it's pulling smooth. The only thing I really notice is because this truck is so light, the front end bounces a little bit. But the bump stops that I have from timbering installed help with that. If I didn't have those, it'd probably bounce a little bit more. And I do have the trailer package, so I have the trailer brakes on the truck, which is amazing. I've never used trailer brakes before, and it's definitely a game changer. All right, guys, we are off work, going to take the Bronco to the shop. This is what we've got going on. Everything hooked up. I didn't really give you guys a look of the truck. Truck's really not squatted. We have the active bump stops back there, but it's not sitting on it. The front end was a little floaty on the way to work this morning, which is expected. That's a lot of weight for this truck. I'm definitely maxed out on the capacity. Definitely maxed out on the capacity. But the truck did good towing it. We towed it between 65 and 75 miles an hour on the way to work, got 10 miles per gallon. I'm expecting to get about the same on the way to the shop. When we get to the shop, I'll try to record getting the Bronco unloaded to see if we have any issues getting it off just because of that tire. And then, yeah, we're gonna take Silo Hill Customs on our way there, and we'll check back in once we get the Bronco fixed. So we just dropped the Bronco off at Silo Hill Customs. If you guys are in Oklahoma or close enough to where you'd wanna come here for your custom work, they are literally getting the part in tomorrow and fixing the Bronco tomorrow. So we'll be back up and running in no time. I'll literally be able to, broke the tie rod yesterday, dropped it off today, be able to drive the Bronco again tomorrow. So Silo Hill Customs is awesome. And so check them out if you're in Tulsa. I'll drop their website below. But anyways, we're going to head down here and drop the trailer off to my buddy Austin. He let me borrow his car hauler to get the Bronco home last night. So shout out to him. He's got an awesome car hauler. If you're looking for a buddy, definitely get you a friend with a trailer. Comes in handy. That's his words, not mine. So he said that is what having a trailer is for, is to let people borrow it. Were his words. But anyways, we're taking his trailer back to him. We're gonna go home, and then when we pick up the Bronco tomorrow, I say tomorrow, but I did tell them, I said no rush. If you guys get busy tomorrow, you can put my Bronco to the side and work on other customer stuff. So if we don't pick it up tomorrow, it's because I told them not to rush on it. But when we pick it up, I'll check back in. We'll see how everything goes. I'll show you the new tie rods. We do have some tie rod sleeves from Level Up Suspension coming in as well. So we'll keep those on deck if this ever happens again. But anyways, we'll check back in when we pick the Bronco back up. Guys, we just stopped by Silo Hill Customs and got the Bronco. We are in it. It is drivable again. Super stoked about it, to have it back. We're gonna actually go to the Build Night off-rodeo this weekend, and we're gonna do some more off-roading. And when we get back to the house, I will show you what we got installed and the parts, and a little disclosure about the parts I got installed. Just you know, just stating the facts about upgrading certain parts and aftermarket parts on your Bronco. But anyways, excited to be back in it. We are going to drive this home, see how it drives. They got it all aligned and everything, and we're gonna head home, and then I will let you guys know how it drives and show you the new parts we got on it. All right, guys, I had to get a little workout in before we finish this video off. But anyways, I'm gonna show you the part that we took off the Bronco, the tie rod that we put off, and the new stuff. Talk about it a little bit, talk about what my original plan was and why I strayed away from that. So this is the OG OEM tie rod off the driver's side, the non-broken tie rod, which I'm confused as to why this even broke compared to the Canyon, because look at the size of this. And I mean, unless I'm just looking at it wrong, but look at the size of this thing. And then if we get up under here, Look at the size of the Canyon's tie rod. Like, that is, if I can get my hand up there, that is such a bigger size than the one on the Canyon. So I'm honestly confused how that even broke on the Bronco. I know they're known to be a little weaker, but whatever, we got it fixed. Silo Hill Customs hooked me up and got this done pretty quick for an event. So I'll show you the original plan. So I don't have them for the Bronco yet, but I do have them for the Canyon. I've had these sitting in my office for about a year. I am finally, since I am scarred from breaking the tie rod on the Bronco, I'm putting these on the Canyon. But I forgot that I have a diff drop for the Canyon to level everything out. So that can go on there. And then we have tie rod sleeves from Level Up suspension for the Canyon. These are the ones for the Canyon. They are sending me some for the Bronco. So my original plan was to just do the sleeves for the Bronco and do the OEM tie rods, because I wanted them to be a little stronger, but I still wanted them to break before everything else past that. But because of the time constraint that I had, I have a Bronco event this weekend, and due to the OEM parts being a little bit more expensive than aftermarket, I went with some rough country ones. So up under here, we have the new rough country tie rods. Those bad boys should never break with the wheeling that I do. I mean, knock on wood, I didn't think I would break one in general, but that's what we got going on. We've got them on both sides. It's $200 for a set. So you get the passenger and driver side for $200, and that is one of the few things that, you know, rough country actually does a good job at making. So a lot of people have said good things about those. We'll see how they work out long term. But speaking of, I am going to go back to Silo Hill Customs, and I'm going to get these tie rod sleeves installed on the Canyon and make sure that we beef the front end on the Canyon up as well, since I've had these sitting for a year. But we do have some coming for the Bronco. I will keep them as a spare in case that ever breaks. We can put the OEM ones back on, and then I can put the tie rod sleeves on those. Just driving this thing home, it drives great. Silo Hill Customs did a great job. As you guys know, that's where I take my vehicles. They've put the lift kit, tires, and everything on the Bronco. They were able to get me in this week and have this done within a day, because they knew I had an event coming up. So they were able to, you know, get me in there, do it pretty quick, get the alignment and everything. So if you're in Oklahoma, check them out. I'm also going to put in the description a little giveaway item. So check the description below for that giveaway item, and check out Silo Hill Customs. So yeah, that's about it for this video. We've got it all fixed, so now we're gonna go off-road it again, and hopefully the tie rods don't break anymore. We'll see. But anyways, that's it for this video. Hopefully I didn't drag it on too much, but I'm just happy to have the Bronco back. I love this thing. It's been so fun. I was pretty sad when that tie rod broke. I didn't know how long it would be out. We'll be driving this bad boy to work tomorrow. Anyways, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.